and I know there's quite a fantastic group of you on the phone. So I would just really encourage everyone to be working really close with your leaders. Let them know what kind of week you had, what's working, what's not working, and then especially after the call as well if you have any questions. Okay, ready to go, Carmen?
Yes, we are.
Okay, perfect. So we'll go on to our first slide. And again, very, very special congratulations to those of you who met the challenge. And the biggest challenge that was issued last week was to have 6 shows up in the next 4 weeks. And I'm hoping that everybody that's on this call right now does have 6 shows up in the next 4 weeks, because this is probably the most important part of the program, is that you can take everything that we share and really start to implement it. So when you kind of think of a cake recipe, you really need all the ingredients for this to work. And having those 6 shows up is the most important. We had a lot of other extra little homework activities, watching some of the webinars, practicing your infomercial. So hopefully everybody got a chance to do that. Okay, so on to the next page here, Carmen.
Okay.
On the last call, and we're going to talk about this on every call, but it truly is the cycle of success. And when we develop the Future Leader Program, it really is designed to be a 90-day program that if you follow it, do all the activities, those activities will give you the results you want. So it's all about meeting enough people. And that's why I started with the 6 shows, because if you only have 2 shows on your calendar, you're only going to be meeting maybe 16 people, and that's not enough to really build that healthy business that I know everybody wants. So you might want to just print this cycle of success, have it somewhere in your office where it's visual all the time for you. Yeah, next page, that's great, Carmen. So again, more people equals more bookings, and again, to focus in on the perfect party. Your 10 guests, 3 bookings, and your 2 recruit leads. Now, those 3 bookings are so important right now as well, because that's what's going to grow your business. 1 to replace, 1 to grow, and then the 3rd one is your insurance policy. So if any show cancels, postpones, you still have that full calendar. And I think taking a look at all the June promotions, there's so much to offer to all your customers. We've got the reverse save happening. We've got great hostess promotions. We've got the bracelet sets, the gold and silver bracelet sets. We've just loaded so much into June for you to have the most fantastic June possible. So we're pretty excited for you. On to the next page. So again, 10 guests, 3 bookings, 2 leads. So next page. This part's just a little bit of a review. When we really talk about speaking to every single guest at a show, the more interactive your show can be, building that relationship, getting to know them, it makes it that much easier when it comes to have that conversation with them at the end of the show, that one-on-one. So I'm sure everybody has had shows where, you know, you maybe just might not connect as well, or you feel like you're just doing the Vanna presentation, and then when it comes time when they're placing an order, you just don't have that comfort or building that relationship. So the more interactive, the more enjoyable, just having that really great show experience makes it that much easier when it comes time to that one-on-one when you're speaking with them at the order taking. So we're going to come back to that. Option A and B, we talked about this on your last show. And again, focusing and listening more at your show. So I'm hoping everybody is getting really comfortable with offering option A and B to your hostess, because they truly are your #1 lead at a show. Ding. So what we're going to talk about on this call is really about creating interest at your show. So at your shows, you're not there to recruit everybody, but you are there to build curiosity and to really see who out there may be interested, who this could be perfect for in their life right now. So when you talk about 7 recruiting seats at a party, these are just little comments that you're going to sprinkle throughout your show. So you're sprinkling seeds. You are not planting a forest. So I hope that makes sense to everybody, that these are just very subtle seeds. So it could be something that, oh my gosh, you know what, it's the beautiful orange one. I can't remember the name of it all of a sudden. But this is the one when we went on our cruise with Leah Sophia, so many women were wearing this. They were wearing it with sundresses and then again with their evening wear. It's absolutely gorgeous. So you didn't come right out and say, Leah Sophia has a cruise or just had a cruise. You're intermingling it with the jewelry, so it's just so casual and so fun that somebody might be thinking, wow, they went on a cruise and they're picturing all these women wearing this gorgeous necklace. Another great one is if you've got, it's always great to have a couple of pieces that are in the starter kit and just say, this is one of the favorite pieces that most of our new advisors absolutely love receiving in their starter kit. Or most everything that you see here tonight, I actually received absolutely at no charge just by becoming a Leah Sophia advisor. Or I just love what I do, just being able to give away so much in free jewelry. It doesn't even seem like a job, it's just so much fun. So it's just all those phrases that you can put throughout your show that people are going to think, boy, she's having fun. Now, the Ask Me game, I know a lot of you are doing this already, so that is so great, whether it's with tickets or you're using the Leah Sophia cards. But again, it's piquing curiosity. So I'm going to just give you a couple of tips, is you want to keep them short and sweet. So when somebody asks you, say you open it up and say, okay, I have a card or a ticket for anybody that asks me a question about my business. Usually somebody will say, how many nights a week do you work? So they really aren't asking about you. They're thinking, how many shows could I do or would I have to do? So make sure you're very general in your answers and they're short and sweet. So you might say, you know, that's the best thing about Leah Sophia is you work when you want to work, whether it's one night a week or one night a month. It's totally up to you. If somebody says, well, how much money do you make? You know what? You can make as much money as you want, whether it's doing 4 shows a month and adding an extra $1,000, or looking at the back page, you'll see that you can also earn up to a 6-figure income with Leah Sophia, depending what you're looking for. So again, they're not asking how much you're really making. They're asking, how much could I make? One question that I love is somebody will say, oh, does your husband mind watching the children? They might not even know that you have children or how old your children are. What they're asking is, do you think my husband would mind? So again, just be very, very careful how you answer them. They're just very short, sweet, and getting an idea who really is interested. This is probably the most fun you could have at a show, and a lot of times it might be that person that doesn't even ask a question, but you can tell they're in the corner and they're really listening carefully. So it might be somebody that's a little too shy, but this way they get a lot of their questions answered. So this is so incredible. If you are going to be doing any sort of games at your show, absolutely make sure you have a purpose. Don't play a game just for the purpose of playing a game, because your presentation really, you want it to be 20 minutes. And that 20 minutes, you want to make sure every second counts. On the last call, we shared an example of an infomercial, and that was part of everyone's homework, was to write it down, make sure you feel great about it, practice it. You want that to be your most powerful segment of your show. And at your show, you can also read the poem, If I'm Dreaming. And I know Carmen for sure has that posted on Team Connection. Be duplicatable. I would say you do not want to be absolutely perfect at your shows. If you know what everything is called and you know what the price of everything is and you come across as such a perfectionist expert, it's not that duplicatable. People might be thinking, oh my gosh, I could never do what she does. She knows so much. So at your shows, I would just encourage you, just be yourself, have fun, connect with the guests, and don't try to be absolutely perfect. I hope that makes sense to everybody. Using cue cards or show cards, even if you can do your show presentation with your eyes closed, it's a great idea. Use the cue cards because somebody might be sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, you know what? She uses cue cards. I can do this. So everything that you're doing at your show, you're really selling yourself and you're selling the business. So on to the next screen, Carmen. We talked about building rapport with guests, and that might be asking the question, what would you do with an extra $1,000 at the very beginning? It's great what you'll find out. How do they know the hostess? Having them try on the jewelry with you, having one being the model, doing the little card game. So again, the more interactive, the better it can be. Oh, I just love, Lena, I have to say thank you. Phew, thanks, Denise, not having to be perfect. What a relief. I'm so glad you put that because it's so important. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, on to the next one. Now this is just part of a sales technique that you really are selling the business. So when you think of a sales cycle, it's always identifying the need, selling the benefits, overcoming objections, and the close. So this starts with when you're selling the jewelry. You're identifying the needs, matching it up with their little black dress or on a trip. You're selling the benefits, not the features. And, you know, sometimes you overcome the objection, and then it comes to the order taking. So at your shows, you're selling three things. You're selling the jewelry, you're selling the hostess program, and you're selling the business. So we're going to focus in on the business. So next screen. So at the beginning, when you ask, what would you do with an extra $1,000, you're helping identify the need. So somebody might say a car, travel, paying off debts, retirement. It could be a whole, you just never know what they might say. So again, listen very carefully. And if somebody says, gosh, you know, I'd use it for a trip, ask them, gosh, you know, do you already have a trip planned? Where would you go? If they say, gosh, paying for, you know, my kids' summer camps, it's like, great, you know, are they planning to go anyplace special? So again, ask questions. Identifying the need. At the order taking, this is just a really easy, friendly question. And you can ask, is there anything tonight that interested you about my business? And just put it out there. See what they say, because you never know, right? And some might say, gosh, you know what, I can't believe how much money you can make. I had no idea. Or they might say, oh, you know what, I love that you can work your own hours. The trips, the flexibility, if you shared spending time with your family, or the jewelry. So you're listening to what really interested them. Okay, on to the next page. You want to sell the benefits now. So you know what they're interested in, and then you want to be able to almost paint a picture for them. So here's one example. If I could show how you could earn $1,000 working one night a week, enough for you to be a car or buy a car, would you be interested in finding out more? If they said that they were saving for a trip for Disneyland, then you can say, you know what, if I could show you how you could earn $1,000 working one night a week, would that be enough for your family to go on the trip to Disneyland? And they'll say, wow, 4 nights a week, $1,000? Yeah, I think I would like to know more. And I think right now women are so busy. They're busier than they've ever been before. So that $1,000, it's a starting point. If you have somebody that is looking for that career change and they're like, oh my gosh, I don't need 1,000, I need 40,000. Then you can say, you know what, if I could show you how possibly you could earn a $40,000 income being your own boss. Is that something you might be interested in finding out more? So I'm hoping everybody's kind of connecting how by what you even shared during the show, perhaps any questions that they ask, that when it comes time, it's that one-on-one approach to see really if this is something that might be great for them. So on to the next page. This is just a little bit about, overcoming objections. We just need to go back one. Or was that the next, or did I jump ahead? Actually, which came first, Carmen, the close or overcoming objections?
Sorry, let me check. Overcoming objections.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Now, same thing. When you think of overcoming objections, think of them as questions. Okay? So if you say, is there something that, I'm just trying to think. Someone might say, oh my gosh, you know what, I could never do what you're doing, like, you know what, I could just never stand in front of people. What they're really asking is, do you think I could stand in front of people? And you would say, absolutely. And you know what I love is that your first 6 training shows really are about getting comfortable in front of your friends and family. Somebody might say, oh gosh, you know what, I really don't think I know enough people. They're really asking you, do you think I know enough people? And you'll say, you know what, let's find out. Let's make a list right here and now, as long as there's not a line up there. So again, really treat it as a question that they're asking you, do you think I can do this? Do you think I know enough people? And they just need that little bit of confidence. Same thing is that, you know what, the word no doesn't always mean no. It means no, not right now. So you can say, you know what, does no mean now forever or no, not right now? And a lot of times they'll say, oh gosh, you know what, it's just right now. We're going on a holiday. But you know what, I think this is something perhaps maybe in the fall. Great, I'd love to invite you as a special guest to our launch. Also use verbiage, I'm so glad you told me. I felt the same way when I first started. Or you can say feel, felt, found. And it's, oh gosh, you know, I'm so glad you shared that with me. I know how you feel. I felt the same way when I first started. But what I found was when I went out and did my very first 6 shows, I really became comfortable with the presentation. So those are just 3 words that you can practice with. And then also use the live the dream and enjoy success stories. So you really want to get to know who's in those brochures and what they've done. So if you're speaking to somebody in their, I'm just trying to think right off the bat. I'm just looking for my enjoy success. Oh, I can't find one. Okay. Rachel is in the last one, and I think it mentions, I can't remember if it said she had, a little baby, or you can use Carmen, and just say, oh my gosh, you know what, you remind me so much of my leader. She has, three children just like yourself. So really get to know some of the personal stories within your region or in the Enjoy Success or perhaps people you've met at conference. And that might help them relate as well. Okay, on to the next one. This is the close. Now, a lot of times people are, they're kind of asking questions. So you want to have your info packages ready. You want them to be pretty. So it might just be a cello envelope. You can have the Startup in Style flyer in there. You could have the gems, a couple of chocolates, the Enjoy Success, Live the Dream, the poem, If I'm Dreaming, Don't Wake Me. So it's just enough information for them to go home to read to see if this is something that they might be interested in. So it's not designed to answer all their questions. But I was speaking to somebody and they said, oh, they just had like a brown envelope. And they're like, oh my gosh, you want it to be pretty, something that they're going to go into the car, and they're either going to want the chocolates first or the candy, and they're going to pull out the literature right away just to see what it has to say. So at your shows, it's the same as a hostess package. If you go to a show and you have 3, 4, 5 hostess packages ready, you're focused on giving away all those hostess packages. Same thing, you want to be prepared and have your info packs ready as well. So you want to have 4, 5, 6 of those with you at the order taking that you just hand them out and just say, you know what, were you one of the people that said they wanted to take information? Or would you consider taking home an info pack? I really enjoyed meeting you tonight. Or, wow, you know, you asked some really great questions. Would you be interested in taking home an info pack? And it's, you just want to hand them out. You're not judging or you're not deciding who would be great or not great. You're just handing it out to see who's out there that might be interested. Dawn, any point that you want to add something in? Just do you want to add anything in?
No, I think you everything you're saying is what I would talk about for sure.
Okay, really great.
If you want to, it's really important that you mentioned to not put everything in the package, that they will have questions that way.
Right, because you really do want them to have coffee with you, right? That's the whole purpose, or that you're going to have a follow-up conversation. Now, these are some different scenarios for you, okay? Because there's no real cookie-cutter approach. So if you have somebody at a show and they are like, oh my gosh, I want to do this, sign me up right now. What I would do is, you know, great, you know what, let's pencil in a starter show date or call it a decider show, and let's book it within the next 7 to 10 days. And let's meet for coffee tomorrow. How does that sound? So that's for somebody that's like hot, 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 okay? Now, if you have somebody that's asked a lot of questions, then you can say, gosh, you know what? Honestly, Carmen, I really enjoyed meeting you tonight, and I think you would be terrific at this. It sounds like it might be perfect for your family. I would love to buy you coffee and just tell you more. How does that sound?
Fabulous.
So it's just very casual, right? That I'd love to take you out for coffee and tell you more. See if it's something that will work for you. If you have an upcoming unit meeting and you have guests that can come to unit meetings, that would be great. And if you're just kind of really stuck for words and she's asking questions, but you just can't get those words out, then you know what I would do is say, you know what? I'm really new, and you've asked some really great questions. Would it be okay if I had my friend with Leah Sophia call you? She's been in the business a little bit longer than myself. And they'll say, oh, gosh, yeah, for sure. Say, you know what, if we do it, you know, maybe the 3 of us, great, but what's the best number she can reach you at during the day? And then what you would do is call your leader the next morning, and she can do the follow-up call. And if you can do it as a 3-way call, that's awesome. So hopefully this makes sense that you just want to be really flexible and very open at your shows about just giving out information to everybody. Okay, so we can go on to the next page. And this is the follow-up. And this is calling the leads from the show. So with your packages that you've sent out, you want to follow up within the next 24 hours, 72 hours tops. Now, if you feel comfortable just doing a follow-up call yourself, great. If you want to have your leader do it with you, that works out great as well. And here's just an example of what you could say. It's, hi, Sue, it's Tracy. I know you're going to be surprised with my phone call, but I'd really like to share something with you. I really, really enjoyed meeting you last night, and I just think this might be something that you may be interested in. You'd be so great. I'm going to be in your area the next couple of days, and I'd love to buy you coffee. So again, it's the follow-up, and again, you want to do it within the next 24 to 72 hours tops. Okay, on to the next page. Now, if you are unable to send 2 packages home, then actually what I would do is when you first get to the show and you've got that time to spend with your hostess, I would, ask her, just say, what, is there anybody that's coming here tonight that, loves jewelry that you think might be interested in finding out more? And a lot of times your hostess will be like, oh my gosh, you know what? So-and-so just got her hours cut back. Her husband, is looking for work. Or you know what? I know they're saving for a trip to Disneyland and she loves jewelry. So a lot of times your hostess is going to let you know who those 2 to 3 people may be. Then you can also take a look at who purchased the most, because a lot of times they love, love, love Leah Sophia. It could be who purchased the least, and that could be the person that loves Leah Sophia but might be on a limited income or limited budget right now. And you know what, who did you like the most? And that's the most wonderful thing about Leah Sophia as you're growing your team, is that you really get to work with people that you enjoy meeting and creating your own dream team. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, does everybody feel great? Hopefully going out for the next week and just really trying to focus in on those 2 recruiting packages, 3 recruiting packages, adding in those recruiting seeds at your show. What you might want to do is write out some of your recruiting seeds that you want to add in, put it on a couple of cue cards, use your show cards. You can also add a couple of little props onto your table as well. So if you're working towards Hawaii, put a little lei there. I know some of you already have those $1,000 bills that you use at your show. Trying to think what else. But if you're a very visual person, you might want to do that. So final challenge, again, is to have 6 shows up in the next 4 weeks. June is such a great month to be doing shows. Like, it truly, truly is. The promotions are fantastic. You can be out there doing margarita parties, patio parties. It really, you know how when summertime comes, people just tend to be more social and more outside, and their neighbors aren't hiding inside their garages. People, they're outside, and you're off to different soccer games and meeting new people. So it really, honestly, can be one of your absolutely best months possible. So 6 shows up in the next 4 weeks. Again, practice your infomercial. At every show, I would love everyone to call your leader the next day and say, you know what, I met 2 or 3 people at the show. This is what I did, and this is my follow-up. So this is where you're going to really start working very close with your leaders, if you haven't already, and vice versa leaders. You're going to be conversing. I'm going to encourage everyone, don't text this, don't email this. Have a conversation about every show and who you met and what the follow-up is. So definitely everyone can do this. Ready, set, go. And I think we've got another screen right after this, Carmen.
All right. Oh.
There we go. I love, this is how we love to end every call. And this, again, is your earnings potential chart. I would have this right in front of you at all times. And it really is about growing a healthy business. So by everyone doing 6 shows, 6 shows, 6 shows, when you go out as a unit leader, you still want to continue to do 6 shows, 6 shows, 6 shows, because this is what's going to generate your immediate income of close to $1,500 a month, and for you to keep meeting people. So we're just really trying to develop your healthy habits to have a really strong business when you do go out. I do want to say, actually, Carmen, I'll let you do this because I know there's so much excitement and new leaders that you've had. Did you want to extend some special congratulations?
We do have some new leaders that are promoted out just this past beginning of June fiscal. I do want to bring some up, but we've also got some that we're going to be announcing at our upcoming big region meeting as well. So on the call we have, she's actually not on the call, Denise, but we've had some really good units coming out that we're going to do the future leader training as well, and they just decided they'd pour it out before that. But right now I'm going to save it, Denise, for the region meeting.
Okay, that works perfect.
Okay.
I just know there's so much excitement happening
with
so many future leaders on your team right now. And with conference being right around the corner, now's really the time to just really keep the momentum going with your show schedules. Congratulations to everybody that's already earned a jacket, and for all the leaders that will be attending the Leader Day at conference as well as the luau. And for those that are promoting out for the end of the month, really take a close look, do a countdown, because if you can make this happen for the end of the month and you're going to conference, it's just so worth it. I don't know how to say it more than that, but it is so worth making that extra effort to become a leader by the end of the month. If you can do it, just go for it.
Actually, Denise, I do apologize. There is one person on the call that I do want to give a congratulations to. The other ones that are on the call are so close, so we're just waiting. But okay. Tony's on the call. She's with Magda, so they're all together in the same place. But Tony just promoted out at the beginning of June. So that made Tony a unit leader, and that actually made Magda a division leader.
That is exciting. Congratulations, Tina. And you know what? I don't know Tina's personal sales just off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't have Tony's either for sure. So
okay, Tony, sorry, but I do know she had an absolutely fantastic month, and I just want to say a special congratulations. So great job.
Good job. Yeah.
Tony had
okay, so I think everybody's good to have a fantastic week.
Oh, Magda just came on the call. I think she was going to say something.
Oh, okay, go ahead, Magda.
Tony was number 6 in Canada with, number 8, sorry, with 5,800.
Way to go.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, thank you. So glad. I'm so glad you jumped on because I knew she was way up there, so that is so great.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Okay, so have a great week, everybody. I would say for somebody actually brought this up on another call, so I'm just going to touch on it quickly. Somebody said, well, wouldn't it be better for a new advisor to start when the new line comes out? Like, why would you want to start now? And you know what? I personally think that starting right now is the most amazing time. They really get to start building their business, getting to know everything about Leah Sophia. With all the promotions right now, they can add so much to their kit with excellent beginnings and earning all the jewelry premiums to just really get off to such a great start. So when the new line does roll out, they're already up and running, and they're going to have such a great fall season. So I just thought I'd put that in there because honestly and truly, I think there couldn't be a better time to start with Leah Sophia.
I agree.
Denise, can I just say, it's Cindy Siebert. Also, this is the first month of our new calendar year, too, for conference, so this really is the very best time to start.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. No, that's
Good
great.
point.
Thank you. Okay, so I guess that's it. Thank you again, everybody. Have a great week, and we will speak to everybody next Monday.
Thank you, Denise.
Okay, bye, everybody.